Some things that you'll see if you wear a Citadel uniform is your food getting paid for by alum, or you'll get, some boos and hisses. It really depends on the day. My name is Caleb McHargue. I'm the Deputy Regimental Commander here at the Citadel, and I'm going to be showing you the 8 primary uniforms that we wear here at the Citadel. The Citadel, it's an institution of higher learning. If you see the beginning, the freshman cadets, they come in a little bit nervous, they come in broken down. And if you see the final result, which is a senior, such as myself, you see somebody who's confident, well-organized, and ready to conquer life. From the get-go, we have the PT uniform. It is composed of 3 different components. So we have number 1 is our reflective belt. This is for safety reasons. So we're running out around in the morning, usually at 5:20 in the morning, and this will just reflect off of any car lights coming on. This helps with just identifying who's a Citadel cadet and who is not. And then the next component of our Citadel PT uniform is the polyester top. So that has the Citadel logo on the left side and our ethics and action symbol on the back. The final component of the Citadel PT uniform is our Citadel shorts, and that is also polyester.
Are there any pockets in the shorts?
There are no pockets in the shorts.
Is that annoying?
Oh, a little bit, yes.
Why?
Well, quite frankly, you just got to hold everything in your hand. It adds a little bit of the professionalism to the uniform, makes it so that there's no bulging pockets. Yes, it's annoying, but I think overall it improves the appearance.
Are these PTs, are they comfortable? Are you a fan of them?
Depends. Well, the winter uniform is not very comfortable. It's a little bit hot, but the summer uniform, I'm a big fan. It's pretty breezy, and I like it. This is the OCP uniform, and we typically wear this on Monday and Thursdays, which are ROTC lab days. We'll wake up and show up to formation wearing the OCPs, and we'll wear that until our ROTC training starts. So depending on the branch that you are in, you'll then, if you're Army, you'd stay in OCPs. If you're Navy, you'd change into that designated uniform, Air Force, Coast Guard, etc.
Do you like wearing the OCP?
I definitely do. Although it gets a little bit hot because it is the winter version of the OCP, I definitely enjoy it a lot more than the duty uniform.
Why?
Well, the duty uniform is a little bit stiff. We got a lot of shirt stays underneath this, and it kind of sags the shoulders down. It's not as comfortable. We like to call these our pajamas because they're real comfy, and if you're really tired after class, you can take a snooze in these. So on the left shoulder, we will have the unit patch. So for this example, we have Delta Company, and on the right shoulder will be typically the Citadel flag right here, the big red flag. It is composed of the OCP winter top and the OCP bottoms. These are the OCP pants. Pretty comfortable, pretty breathable for the most part, except during the hot, humid months in Charleston.
Do you ever get used to that, or is that just something that is always tough?
At first, when I first showed up, I was cooking in this thing, but I'd say that you build up a sort of tolerance for it, and you get used to it, and you just kind of press through and suck it out. And these are the coyote brown boots that we wear with the OCP uniform.
Do you like wearing those?
Not these specifically.
Really?
I wear the Oakleys. These are a little bit heavier. These are the ones that the school can issue you if you showed up with no boots at all, but most people prefer to buy their own versions that are a little bit more breathable, a little bit lighter. This is the duty uniform. This is our working outfit. Basically, if you got an assignment to do or you got official business, you would wear this. It's composed of the gray shirt, dress shirt. We would iron the sides. You'd iron the sides with stay flow, ensuring that they have a nice crease to them. And you would iron the collar to make sure that they really pop down, maintains like a flushness with the rest of your uniform. So when I initially showed up, I had absolutely 0 ironing skills, but it's definitely one thing that you learn here is just the process of rinsing and repeating that skill. So I would like to say now I'm pretty much an expert at ironing this uniform. I can whip one of these out in probably 30 minutes. You typically wear this uniform Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday in the academic week. And our duty trousers right here with the black stripe down the middle. It's cotton. Just really not breathable. With all the humidity in Charleston, it's not the best. So this is our cover for the duty uniform. So right here on the left side of the cover, we will have the rank, And if you're a freshman cadet or a private, you would have nothing there. The white stripe along the top represents you being an upper class cadet, as opposed to the all black cover representing a freshman cadet.
Can you show me how this is worn?
So you kind of use 2 fingers to measure the length at the top, and that is how you wear the cover in the duty uniform. When it's very windy, it'll blow off very easily. So you'll typically see cadets kind of grabbing it in the wind, but outside of that, it does a pretty good job of somehow staying up there.
I saw one upperclassman yesterday, it had kind of a tilt to the side. Did some people do, what's that about?
Well, depending on the company, there's different ways sometimes of wearing it. So you'll probably see that little tilt to the cover if you're like a clerk or from Victor Company. I see a lot of cadets from Victor Company wearing it that way these days, but that is not how you're supposed to wear that. So the black epaulets on the shoulder are representing you as a cadet officer if you're a senior. So if you're a senior and you have rank, you are a cadet officer and you'll wear these.
Tell me about this belt.
So our belt is made of black webbing and then a brass belt that when you, as a freshman, receive it, you're responsible to blitz it and then shine it with sandpaper and blue magic.
What's blue magic?
So blue magic is our little shining polish that we use to kind of get rid of all that humidity that builds up on top of the brass every morning. And typically I'll shine my belt probably 2 to 3 times a day just to make sure it stays nice and clean. These are our black dress shoes. Early on, cadets will usually wear the baits, and once they actually learn that they're really, really hard to shine, they'll transition over to the floor shimes. And those are what I am currently wearing. So myself, I like to shine them every night and then kind of buff them out every morning with my PT shorts. So you shine them, you put the polish on for it takes about 30 minutes of effort, and then in the morning, you will then I personally take my PT shorts and kind of buff them out, make them have a nice shine to them, and that will carry me out for the rest of the day. This is the summer leave uniform. It has 2 blue shoulder boards and has the duty trousers that I mentioned earlier. You typically wear this on leave, it's in the name, and during the summer or the hotter weather days, and it's designated by the Commandant's Department whether or not we will be wearing this. So leave is for certain open weekends if we're not conducting an SMI or we don't have any training for that week. We'll be then released to go out into Charleston or go back home to see our parents, and typically that will start about Friday night after last military duty until Sunday at 22:30.
What's SMI?
So an SMI stands for Saturday Morning Inspection.
So what's it like for you when you go out into Charleston wearing your summer leave? What does that feel like for you? What kind of reactions does that get?
There's definitely a sense of pride in your institution when you're carrying yourself, and just wearing the uniform makes you carry yourself differently. Maybe it's the shirt stays, bringing your back a little bit up and erect. And I think that people see you in a different light. Maybe it's a reaction to the way you carry yourself, but I think that uniform definitely has a reaction or an effect on that. Some things that you'll see if you wear a Citadel uniform is your food getting paid for by alum, or you'll get some boos and hisses. It really depends on the day. But outside of that, it's an honor to wear this. These are the same duty trousers that we wore in the duty uniform with the black stripe going down the middle. This is the white garrison cover. This is worn with our summer leave and our dress white uniform, as well as our dress salt and pepper uniform. I think it has a good aesthetic to it. Fits nicely on the head. It's definitely one of our best looking covers that we have access to at the Citadel.
Does it stay on in the wind?
Yeah, actually surprisingly very well. This is the dress white uniform. It is composed of the same shoulder boards as the summer leave, and it has these brass buttons that you can take out and blitz and shine. It also has our South Carolina pins, and if you are awarded gold stars, you'll be placing them in this area right here. And it also is composed of our same dress white pants. You typically wear this uniform going to formal events, such as if you're called to the president's office, you'd wear this, or to chapel. For the final march to Marion Square, you would wear this uniform to swear in as a freshman cadet. So this is definitely has a lot of heavy significance to this uniform.
I mean, there's a lot of shining that goes on with these buttons, right?
Yeah, so this uniform actually takes quite a bit of time to put together. I would say probably just the shining alone, if you include all the breastplate and the waist plate that's attached to it, probably a good solid 15 minutes of just shining brass if you do a good job.
Are they comfortable?
This is my favorite uniform by far. I think it's very breathable. It's probably the most breathable of all of our uniforms. It's probably the most aesthetic as well, in my opinion. It just really pops out and really represents the Citadel well, in my opinion. This is the first component of our dress, salt and pepper. As you can see, it's full wool. It's very heavy. We wear this typically during the winter months of the academic year. And just one thing to note, on the sleeves, after you complete each year, a stripe is added. So once you're a senior, you will have 3 stripes on this. And as you can see, this is a freshman cadets. This is a big parade uniform that we wear, especially for the more like the award parades. We'll wear the salt and pepper. We really don't wear this uniform very often, but when we do, it definitely looks great. And I enjoy this uniform a lot, just because it has the combination of keeping you warm on the top, and then the bottoms are a little bit more breathable with the dress white pants. This is the salt to the pepper. Back to the dress white pants, same pants. Real breathable, real comfortable. So for the salt and pepper, we also wear this white garrison cover. This is the dress gray uniform. So it's the same top as the salt and pepper, except that the pants are full wool. I think that I can accurately represent the rest of the Citadel and say that this is probably the most disliked uniform that we have, simply because we do live in Charleston and it's high humidity, high heat, pretty much year round. So the wool does a great job of insulating all that heat and keeping us nice and toasty, especially during those parades. This is the black garrison cover that we wear with the dress gray uniform. During cadre period and challenge week, cadre will be wearing this cover with the duty uniform, as well as white gloves. It just adds to the aesthetic and just the professionalism of the entire uniform. In some of the uniforms that you'll see in this video, you'll be seeing this red sash here, and this simply represents a sword-bearing cadet. So whether that is a top NCO, being a first sergeant, or even just an officer, they will wear these for any dress uniform specifically. I do like wearing the red sash. I think it adds to the aesthetic of the uniform. It does get a little bit sweaty around the waist when you're wearing it, but outside of that, it really does add a lot of color and vibrance. So yes, I do like wearing the sash. We have the full dress uniform. This is the most formal of all of the uniforms that we have. You will only wear this typically for the big events of the year, such as the President's Inspection or the Long Gray Line. So as you can see, once again, this is a freshman cadets. There is no rank, but typically on a high ranking cadet or just a rank holder, you'd see the stripes being down here for the sophomore, and the rest of the stripes from junior to senior year right here in this area. And it was also paired with the dress white pants. I do enjoy wearing this uniform. I think it really represents the Citadel well. It looks great. It's a little bit hot in the top just because it is made out of all wool, but it's easy to wear. It doesn't require any shining of the brass, so it doesn't really take a lot of time to put together. So I do enjoy wearing this uniform. This is the shako, and this is the pom-pom. And if you are a senior with rank, you'll be wearing the plume. So the placement of actually the strap on the shako is very important. So if it falls underneath your nose, that means you're in command. It means that you are about to give commands specifically at parade. And if it falls beneath or right at the chin, that means you are listening or taking commands. That is the significance of the location of our strap. I'm not a huge fan of this hat simply because of, I guess, how tall it is and the way it sits on your head. But I do understand that there's a lot of cultural and significance to the Citadel, and that's why they keep it around. As you just saw, those are the 8 primary uniforms we wear at the Citadel. I mean, ultimately it comes down to the cadet himself. Like, the whole point of this school is to learn self-discipline. So really, if your uniform looks bad, that's your responsibility and that's your fault.